Hello and welcome for this new tutorial on how to add the multiplayer feature on our game. So we will go straight away. First, we will start with some general knowledge on how to do the multiplayer, and we'll go. Let's go. Let's talk about the multiplayer replication. So the easiest way to understand the multiplayer aspect of a game is this. So first, we will start with a server. The server will have an instance of our game, and then we will have some client that's gonna connect to it and then start sharing information and asking stuff to the server. Then we can have another client that's connect to the server to play the game, and they will be in the same game with the first client, and he can start sharing information with the server, and then we can have a third one connecting to the server, and so on and so on. One thing that we cannot do with the client server, it's the communication between the client. So for example, the client 1 cannot talk with the client 2 directly. It has to go through the server. For example, if client 1 wants to send a message to the client 2, it will first send the message to the server. It will tell the server in which player should receive this message, and then the server will send the message to the client 2. And if it is a message that can go to everyone, for example, the client 1 wants to send something to everyone, it will send the message to the server, and then the server will dispatch this message to every client. So we have two different ways to make a multiplayer game. We can either have the dedicated server or the host client multiplayer. For the dedicated server is the stuff that we just saw just before. We have one server and we have all the clients that connect to it. And for the host client, we will have one of the clients that's going to be the host of the game, and all the clients will connect to it. So there is some few difference between these two. For example, for the host client, if the game host decide to quit the game, then the game will stop, or we need to find a new host. So it will take one of the clients to be the host. It's something that we could see in the Call of Duty game. There was a host, and when the host actually leaves the game, we have to stop the game and find a new host to host the game. We don't have this issue with the dedicated server, but the only downside with the dedicated server is that it's very expensive. We need to have a server up and running for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so it costs a lot, as the game host actually costs nothing because one of the clients is going to be the host. So it costs actually nothing. Let's go in Unreal and let's check how does it work. So we have an example of a client screen. We have the client here, which is this character, and we have two other players, which are these two characters. First, each client will have an instance of all the blueprint on the game. So if this is my client screen, on my game, I will have my character blueprint, and I will have these two characters blueprint also. I will not be able to control them because they have their own player, but I will be able to control mine. We will still have the instance of that blueprint. So if a function is triggered on that blueprint, for example for this guy, it will get triggered on this character also. If we put the good functionality and everything, we will see that after. Each player owns his character blueprint. I own this one. The other player owns this one, and the other player owns this one. For the server, he also has an instance of all the blueprints in the game. It will be the exact same. The server will not have his own character blueprint because he's not actually playing the game, but it will be the same. He will have the instance of all the character blueprints of all the players, and all the blueprints, all the actors, everything will be on the server also. When a player wants to do an action, he actually needs to ask the server if he can do that. So to do that, we will play a function on the server side to do the action. And if the action is successful or if something happened, the server will send the result to one player or to all the players. And to do that, we will use some events. So in the blueprints, we will see that just after with our game, we have different events that we can create. For example, the first event is going to be an event that is cast only on the server. So to be executed on server. So when we create a custom event, when we click on the custom event, we have the detail panel that open with some replicated option, and we can either choose not replicated, which is the default, multicast, run on server, and run on owning client. So if we choose run on server, we will have this execute on server, and this event will only be cast on the server, on the blueprint, which is on the server. If we choose the multicast, the event will be cast on every instance of the blueprint. So this event, everything that happened after that will be executed on everyone, on all the blueprint instance of this actor or this character. And the last event is the execute on owning client. This event is cast only on the player which own the blueprint. So if something from the server, for example, some sound or some special effect, we don't want to replicate it to everyone because it will be a waste of data. So we can just run that on the owning client. If not everyone need to see that stuff, we can just run that on the owning client. So the person who is playing the game, this guy, for example, will be the only one to see the action, to see what's going on after. So that's it. For the multiplayer replication, we can now go in Unreal. We actually saw in the first part, what do we need to do to make the replication? So now, we need to actually add replication on our animation. So we don't need to add the replication on the locomotion of our character because it's already in Unreal, it's already doing it alone, but we need to replicate our variable and our different animation when we do, for example, the rolling animation. So we will start by doing the replication on the rolling animation, and then we will see how to do it on the ledge climbing. It will be the exact same way. So let's go, we will go in Unreal and we will start doing the development. Let's go. So we are back in Unreal. So I changed a little bit the setup. I put a nice camera there. I hope you like it. We will see how it goes in the video, but I think it will be a little bit better. Maybe it's a little bit too close. Maybe I will get like a new objective for my camera, but we will see. So now we are in Unreal and we will start doing the replication. So let's go in our player blueprint. Up, we'll get our player blueprint. And we will start with the rolling animation. Here is our roll animation. We can see that we have a condition about the isRolling boolean, and then we have the play montage and the change of the isRolling boolean. So it should be very simple. First, we will create a new custom event. So we type custom event and we will add a custom event. And this custom event, we will put s underscore to say that this is a custom event that will play on the server. So it should be s underscore. We will do it simple for now. We will say s underscore rolling animation. We have our custom event, and now to say that this custom event is on the server, we will click on it, and in here we have a replicate, and there is not replicated, and we will choose run on server. So this will run on the blueprint of this character on the server. Then we will put our condition. This is very important. And then we will need to play our montage. If I play the montage in here on the server custom event, it will only be, the montage will only play on the server. So only the server view will see the player doing the rolling animation. So we need to say to all the clients to play this animation. So we will create a new custom event called M for multicast underscore rolling. I will create the custom event first. So we will add custom event and we will put M underscore rolling animation up. And now in the replicated, we will choose multicast. If I mouse over this multicast, it says that replicate this event from the server to everyone else. Server execute this event locally too. Only call this from the server. So we need to call this only on the server, and then the server and all the clients will do the stuff that is after that. So we'll get our play montage and also the set of the boolean. We will see after for the set of the boolean because we can actually change that. So we need to click on the multicast and we plug this in. Then in the server rolling animation, if we can actually roll, if is rolling is not, if the player is not rolling, we can call our M underscore rolling animation And here we can remove this. So the player will press our button to do the roll, and then we will call the server, so s_rolling animation. So now we have this. So the player press the roll button, then we ask the server if we can actually roll, and if we can, we will say to everyone that this player is actually doing the animation rolling. So we will play this montage for every character. So we'll compile and save, and now we can test it. To test it, we will go on this little 3 point, and we will go in number of players. We will say, for example, 3 players, and in the net mode, we have to put play as listen server. So this window will play as the listen server, and all the other window will play as a client. So you press play. You can see that I have 3 windows with 3 bunny that are spawned. I will just make this one a little bit smaller. Okay, up like this. This one like this. So this is the server. Press the button. We just change it a bit the view to see it a little bit better. Okay. If I press E, it's rolling on every client and on the server as well. Now we will test with this client. And it's working as well. And it should be the same for the last one. It's working. That's perfect. Now we need to do it for the edge climbing. It will be the same type of stuff. So let's go back to our blueprint, and we will just take this, press C to put a comment, and we will say that this is the rolling. We will say player rolling. We can put this is replicated. So we know that this is something that is replicated. And now we will go in our ledge climbing animation. So here is all our ledge climbing. We need to be careful because we have an event tick. So for this it will be fine because it's only when we are actually falling. But to do replication on an event tick, you have to be careful because there will be a lot of process. If you replicate too much stuff, you will blow the server. The server will explode. So please be careful when you actually put some replication on the event tick. Be careful. Be sure to not DDoS the server. So we'll go and we want to put all the logic in the server. So the server will have to check the is falling, it will do the line trace. We don't want the player to do the line trace. The server is gonna do it. This, the server is gonna do it. This also. And then the server can actually stop probably from here. From here. Or maybe there. We will see. Probably here. And then every player is gonna do this. It's gonna change the set movement mode. It's gonna do the warp animation and the play montage and this to be sure that there is no issue. So let's go. We'll start by disconnecting this and add a custom event. Add custom event. This s_ledge climbing. Ledge climbing. We will say that this is run on server and we plug this in here. Now we will call this s_ledge climbing. Now if I go back to the game and I have all my character. Oh, there I have my server and the 2 bunny. If I go there, we can see that on the server we have the animation, but on the bunny on the side there is no animation. You can see motion warp work because it's the actual location, the transform of the player. So the transform of the player is replicated. So if it moves, it got replicated to everyone, but not the animation. See? So we will just replicate the animation, the play montage. We want everything to be done by the server and we just want to have the montage play on each character. So if I go there, if I try to climb, you can see that on the... I will go with this one, it'll be better. If I go with the one on the top left, I go there and I will climb. We can see on the top left that my character is not doing the animation, and on the server it's actually doing the animation. So we'll change that. So let's close this and we'll go back to our blueprint player character. We said that only the animation we want to have played on every character. We will try first to just disconnect this. We will probably have an issue, but it's okay. We will need this and we will need this also, and probably something to be able to go back. We will see. So let's unplug this and let's take this somewhere else and go there. We'll create a new custom event. So add custom event m_ledge climbing. Oh, can I put a G at the end? Okay. Then you plug this in and we will change this to be multicast. So first we do the ledge climbing. So we will go there and we will type m_ledge climbing. I wasn't sure if this line from two different functions will work, but actually the blueprint is okay with that. We will just test this. It should be working. Let's go. We have our server there. The server should be doing the same as before. It's working and we can see the animation on every character now, on every client. I go, we can see I'm doing the animation. Let's see if on the client is the same thing. We'll go there. He had a little bit of issue, but was it... Yeah, that was because the climbing animation is not very perfect. We'll maybe trick it out a little bit later. But it's actually working. We don't want. So we can just leave it like that. It's not perfect. We can see that it's a little bit jittery. If I make this one big, you can see that it's a little bit jittery. You can see the camera, it's like a little bit jittery. That's normal. It's actually not that bad. Do we have the same on the server? I just want to check to be sure. Okay, I have some weird stuff. Ah, it looks a little bit better. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. But it's actually good. So that's it for today. I hope you actually like it. It was a very simple replication feature, but it's actually the beginning of the project. We need to start thinking about the multiplayer. If we make a multiplayer game, we need to think about the multiplayer straight away. If we wait and add like keep adding feature, keep adding, we will have a big issue to transfer everything from a solo game to a multiplayer game. So we do it straight away, even if it's simple thing, just okay, I will do my condition in the server, then I will call the animation on everyone. It's very simple, but it's the base that we can use now to build up around and make our game a multiplayer game. So that's it on our video on how to add a multiplayer feature in our game. For the next video, I will make a little video on the game jam I just finished this week. It's the Scream Jam. It was a game jam about making a game, like a little bit scary game. I made a game with Unreal. I will make a devlog about it. I filmed everything. I will make a little video about it. It should be next week for Halloween, so it will go live for Halloween. And then we will go back on some tutorial. I will make a video about the editor ring in Unreal. So we will be able to change the rig of a character directly in Unreal. We don't have to go back to Blender to change the rig. We can do it in Unreal. It's an experimental feature. It's something new. I will make you a little video about it because we need to change a little bit the skeleton of our bunny. I would like to add some ear for the bunny to be able to move it, to do some stuff with animation. So we will see that, and then we will start working on the physical aspect of the game, because we don't want to have our character just doing like a very like stiff animation. We want him to be like moving a little bit with the physical aspect of Unreal. So we will start doing this next month. So I hope you actually like this video. If you don't want to miss the next video, please subscribe. So if you like this video, if you like my new setup, please drop a like, and I will see you on the next week for the game jam, for the devlog for the game jam. I hope you will like it. I will put you a little bit of the video of the game I just created for the game jam. It was a 7-week game jam. I will put you a little, like maybe 20 seconds of video just to tease you, and I will see you on the 31 for Halloween. Bye.